here doing mass shootings. We can call black extremists because we don't like seeing black women beat up in nail salons and shit, and black people eating ice cream in their fucking apartment, and some dumbass white bitch who's a white supremacist cop shows up and blows his head off. Like, we can call black extremists for even standing up for ourselves. And God forbid a Latino person doesn't want to see a fucking kid in a cage or deported, and all of a sudden they're criminals too. But, you know, little Timmy didn't get his fucking wish when he was 7 and somehow grows up to become a fucking rapist and a serial killer, but he gets patted on the head because he has influenza and he went to Stanford and he has his whole life ahead of him. And then somehow
that's the problem with this movie.
A movie
that's
like
the problem with this
to
movie.
Justify the foul shit that white people do. And
but you're doing the same thing.
No, I'm not.
Yeah,
because
you are.
I literally just showed you proof. Like, a white dude years ago used a fucking Batman movie to kill a bunch of people.
No, that's actually a myth. That's actually a myth.
He dressed up like the fucking Joker.
No, they actually completely debunked that.
No, I know they debunked it, but he still tried
false.
it. Did he not try it?
No, he didn't.
He tried it.
He
Yes,
never
he did.
referred to himself as Joker. He never had green hair. He never painted
had
his
orange
face.
hair, bro. He dressed up as a clown.
No, he didn't.
You didn't see the subtle... Okay, bro.
That's actually...
He dyed his hair like fucking red, but it was really orange.
Again,
They've
been talking about this for 2 weeks. That's completely false. The dude in Colorado had no inspiration from Joker. It's completely
So why did
false.
he show up to court dressed like
It's completely false.
So why did he show up to court dressed like
All he had was orange hair. That's it. And people connected those dots. They made that leap.
Okay.
But he never actually said, I'm Joker. He never laughed like Joker. He never.
I could give you
but that's what I'm saying.
Of examples
that's what I'm saying. I'm not disagreeing.
I'm not
disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing.
Use like the Turner Diaries.
Kenny, I'm not disagreeing with you. What I'm saying is,
I know
the problem with this movie is like everybody's just projecting on it. Everyone is bringing what they want to it and throwing it on the movie. When really it was just a fucking modern version of Taxi Driver meets Kings of Comedy with the fucking Joker.
First off, whoa. You weren't even... You only saw Taxi Driver like fucking last night.
I literally just saw it last night.
First off, relax.
Which, by the way, it wasn't that good. But
it really wasn't that good.
It wasn't that good.
It wasn't that good. But there's a modern day version of Taxi Driver, but it goes by a different name. I forget the movie. And ironic because Al Pacino was in this one too.
You mean De Niro?
I don't know why I keep saying Al Pacino. I mean Robert De Niro.
Slightly racist?
No, like...
You just
when I think of like...
two of the most popular Italian actors?
No, two of the most iconic method actors. Because like when I...
That would be like me mistaking Morgan Freeman and Samuel L. Jackson.
No, it's not. Because Morgan Freeman is clearly God. And Samuel L. Jackson might be the devil, or he won't be. It's like me confusing William Dafoe for like the white dude who plays Asmodeus in fucking Watchmen, and you don't even know who that is.
I don't even know who either of those people were.
You never saw Watchmen, and you don't know who.
I don't know who the actor was.
The dude who played the Green Goblin.
Okay.
William Dafoe looks like the fucking devil himself.
Okay.
See, my references are wasted.
Yeah. Anyways,
you fucking
the point is,
swine.
Back to the movie. What I'm saying is, like, realistically, we're giving it too much credit and too much thought.
It's 9 o'clock and we haven't said anything about football.
Everyone's projecting on it. Like, everyone is just and I think that's kind of the problem with the movie is that, like, it was so many things that, like,
I think it's gonna start.
It was so many things that it was not one thing, and now everyone else is bringing their own shit to it. It was connecting the dots themselves.
It was a movie of cliffhangers.
It didn't do enough. It was a movie of
cliffhangers because it was just cliffhanger after cliffhanger after cliffhanger. And you're like, oh, I could see how that could happen.
It just wasn't. It just didn't go into enough like insightful, detailed shit of like actual character development. It was just like.
Well, Todd Phillips,
we're going to show you these things. Like, we're going to show you these glimpses, and then you can kind of connect the dots. Like, even the fucking Notebook. Like, you never actually see anything in the Notebook other than, like, a few notes.
And porn. Black porn, by the way.
But you don't actually see any of his...
It was like a black girl's naked body.
You don't actually see any of his manifesto or his thinking or, like...
But that's the thing, it's scatterbrained.
Exactly.
But it really was, like, just page after page of naked black chicks with just, like...
No, there was white chicks in there though. Too.
Yeah, too. But like the first time around, I was like, "Why?" Like the first 4 pages, all black chicks, or I don't know. It was weird, but it was just like breasts and like vaginal area. Like it was just like the torso part of the body. I was like, okay, this is really fucking dark.
So yeah, on that note, anything else you want to say about the movie before we move on to the other tangent that we got to address this week?
Yeah, I just don't want to see like some horrible shit happen and white people start using this music for me to start feeling bad and getting people off, because I'm still mad about that Botham Jean situation. How the fuck you really think we're gonna sit up here and believe, and I'm sorry mom for cussing, you're gonna hear all this on the playback anyway, but you're not gonna sit up here and tell me that the dude who testified and was scared for his life because the police were hunting him, and the chick who caught video, who's now pretty much lost her license and got fired and is blackballed out of Texas, no one can find out where she is. We don't know if she's alive or dead or not. And this dude got shot in the fucking mouth in a gated community. By the way, FYI, if you live in a gated community, the cops and the fire department have the codes to your gate, so they can get in, because if something happens, they have to get in the gated community. And people really want us to sit up here and believe that the dude who testified against police, the Dallas racist-ass, corrupt-ass Dallas PD, that this dude got murdered in a drug deal in a state where weed has been decriminalized. Over 12 pounds of weed. He got shot in the mouth over 12 pounds of weed between two dudes who went from Louisiana to Texas to get weed. And he was a drug dealer who lived next to a bunch of police officers. Yeah. All this shit pisses me off. Like, I'm just waiting for this movie to get used or brought up the next time a white person decides to commit a mass shooting, because we know it's going to happen again. And, like, I'm going to be annoyed by it. That's why, like, I wasn't really entertained by this movie, because, like, it's just going to be a fucking mental health circle jerk for the next 6 months about this movie. People who are going to be trying to get, like, events together. Let's talk about mental health, but not actually do shit about it. Like, let's write think pieces and put it on the route and everywhere else. Like, that's what it's going to turn into with this movie. That's the only thing I dislike about it.
How many weeks ago did you say you're going to look for a therapist?
I'm still looking.
Exactly, bro. So
and I definitely need to speed up that process.
Before you start casting the stone at other people.
No, I'm saying there are people who like to pimp the mental health struggle.
Saying is,
and
I completely understand what you're saying.
That's all I'm saying.
And I don't disagree with it. What I'm saying is,
but I'm not attacking everybody else because I pointed out one group of people.
You kind of are.
No, I'm not. Okay, so there are people who hustle mental health the same way there aren't preachers who hustle pain and shit.
I'm not saying. I'm
only talking about exploiters, not everyone else.
I'm saying in general, though, is before you start.
I'm speaking in general.
Before you start saying, you are speaking in general.
I said in no uncertain terms.
You are. And what I'm saying is,
certain people.
Well, how about you just listen to what I'm saying, bro?
How about you?
Because I'm not even arguing with what the point that you're making.
But you just picked apart what I said before I even finished saying it.
I'm not picking apart what you're saying. All I'm saying is that in order for you to start making comments about other people and their motives for mental health, get your own motive straight, because you were on this airwaves a couple weeks ago, clout chasing therapy, saying you're gonna get a therapy.
So by that logic,
you ain't gotten one.
That logic, I can't call out criminals because I'm not a criminal. I can't call out.
That's a fallacy.
Okay, then what you said was a fucking fallacy. I can call out people who exploit mental health for their own gain and are going to use this to write a think piece on it. That ain't got shit to do with what you're talking about.
Yeah, it does, because you were over here on the airwaves saying you're going to get therapy, making us all a little empathetic and sympathetic. No,
I just said it and then I let it go, and I haven't brought it up since you brought it up.
Exactly. So
because I'm looking in my spare time.
Do the follow up.
That has nothing to do with what I just said, though. Like, people are going to just hustle this movie, and it's going to be gross. And I'm just not going to like it. And then this movie's going to have a bad taste in my mouth.
And what I'm saying is, like,
I made a general statement.
You also have to follow through on your shit.
That ain't got shit to do with this movie, though.
It does, though, because you're over here. You're over here pointing at people who exploit about mental health, who exploit
real problems.
And I'm saying is,
who exploit real problems.
You over here talking about getting therapy, and you still haven't even made no progress. So
no, I haven't. Like, I'm still narrowing down my choices to who I wanted to pick. I found therapists. I'm narrowing down my choices. That ain't got shit to do with the fact that the next time there's some big tragedy, people are going to point back to this movie who have no.
Come on, yo. You know Kenny can't just say, you know what, you're right, Pete.
No, because you're wrong.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to go next week.
You're taking my individual point.
He can't just say, no. You know what? You're right.
You're taking my individual point and turning into something else and making me the bad guy, like always. You do that a lot. Like, you take my point and then you like pick it apart and make me the bad guy when I wasn't even talking about what you're talking about.
Exactly.
You do that like every week. Actually.
Exactly, because it needs to be talked about.
People have called you out on that.
It needs to be talked about, because it's like you can't just call other people and then not call yourself out either. You call me out all the time.
But I do it off air.
No,
I make fun of you on the air.
You call me out on air too.
Yeah, and I make fun of you too, but that's different. Anyway.
But yeah, man.
Speaking of schisms and arguments,
we got to talk about the NBA situation that's been going on. Essentially,
I want to talk Baker Mayfield. Never mind.
That's the next topic. But yeah, I just want to address the topic that's been going on in the NBA, because the NBA loves to like power trip about how it's the most woke league, about how it's all about the players and it's player friendly and player first and it's where what's the movement called? Player enablement?
Player empowerment?
Player empowerment. There you go. The player empowerment movement started. And yet, here we are. Here we are, man. Here we are, and the NBA is essentially shutting up and dribbling. And honestly, I mean, I don't think any of us really blame them, just because China is such a big ass market. But
I think the people are going to need background reference, because they might not know what the fuck you're talking about.
So yeah, go for it. You want to give them?
No, I was letting you talk because you hate my NBA takes, so you talk.
But yeah, so essentially, Houston Rockets GM Daryl Morey basically went on Twitter and let out a tweet, essentially addressing some of the protests going on in Hong Kong versus the Chinese government. And the Chinese government were like, nah, we're not playing that. So they threatened to cancel the game. They threatened to...
They took they took the G League, the entire G League, off their airways, and a bunch of NBA games that were being played in China.
Yeah, and so the NBA kind of issued a statement about it, saying Adam Silver was like, you know, I still plan to go there and talk to them and maintain relations and blah, blah, blah.
Kind of too late for that.
You know, we respect Morey's right to say what he wants to say, but we also respect China for, you know, trying to do what's best for their people type of bullshit. And then, yeah, the NBA essentially embargoed all their players from talking about the issue, gag ordered everyone, and Russell Westbrook and James Harden got asked a question about it and just looked at the PR people. And then the reporter tried to ask a follow-up question in a different way, similar topic, and then they just pretty much just took the mic away from her. So
I just want to say this. It wasn't that big of a deal. Little black kids were getting killed in these cities all over the country, and black NBA players wearing I Can't Breathe shirts. And, like, just keep the same energy. Media, just keep the same energy. And also...
What do you mean by that?
Like, it wasn't this big of a deal with when Tamir Rice got killed and LeBron was wearing shirts and they were asking him certain questions, things like that. So respect the silence of the players, or lack thereof, if they want to speak out. Like, respect that when it comes to, really, this isn't even a player issue. This is at the GM owner level. This is a front office issue. Like, go hunt those people down and stick mics in front of their face, not the players. Because I can guarantee you, like, some of these players, or at least the ones who might go super woke, some of them might even quote the Muhammad Ali Viet Cong speech, how they ain't never done shit to me. Some of these cats might have deals with China under the table for distribution. They're not going to mess up their money and speak out on either side. So how about the media just go hunt down all these front office people, because that's who you need to be talking to, is them. Like, that's who the focus is on, because a player didn't tweet that out. A GM did, of a team that don't ever win shit, by the way.
I'm sorry. I was half reading this article and half listening to your take.